Goddesses and gods gather around. Welcome to Mythology and Makeup. I'm Vanessa, and I'm thrilled to share my passion of mythology with you while I get ready for the day. Let's uncover the fascinating stories of mythology together, from Athena's wisdom to the captivating stories of the muses and everything in between. So grab your brushes and a mirror, and let's unleash the beauty and magic within. Happy Saturday, everyone! I hope everyone is enjoying their weekend, and since tomorrow is Easter, I want to do like a cute little pastel-y Easter look. So, let's get back into the Egyptian world, the ancient Egyptian world. I just feel like there wasn't that much primer on this side, especially for my eyelids. There we go. First, we're going to start with Ammit. She's not considered a goddess, but a powerful, terrifying creature with supernatural powers. She is described as having the head of a crocodile. Her front legs were the legs of a lion, and her back legs were the legs of a hippo. That is one wild combination of animals, okay? Just imagine seeing a creature with the front legs of a lion and the back legs of a hippo and the head of a crocodile. Like, what in the hell? Just imagine seeing that. I probably would be absolutely just terrified. Because, the fuck? Her name means devourer, because she would devour the hearts of the dead if they were found to be unworthy during the judgment of the dead. She lived next to the scales of justice in the underworld, where the hearts of the dead were weighed against the feather of truth. Her image would be used as a warning to the deceased to live a good life and avoid wrongdoing. She seems like an all-around good goddess creature / Next, we're going to get into Anubis. Anubis is the god of mummification and the afterlife and the dead. He was shown as a man with the head of a jackal or a full jackal. He was responsible for preparing the deceased for afterlife and guiding them through the underworld. The rituals that he was associated with were mourning and sometimes to pick as the protector of the dead. He was worshipped throughout Egypt. His presence was felt during the entire process of preparing the body for the afterlife. He was often seen as a gentle, caring god who took great care in ensuring that the dead were treated with respect, even though he was super powerful and played a very important role. Next, we're going to get into Aten or Aten, however we want to pronounce that. He was a solar god who was shown as a sun disk with rays ending in hands. He's the giver of life and energy and food. Where is my... There it is. I'm wondering where my eyebrow brush was. During the reign of Akhenaten, Aten became the main god who was worshipped in Egypt, and all other gods were banned. during his reign. Now, after the pharaoh's death, the worship of Aten slowly faded out, because nobody was forcing the people to worship him anymore. So they're like, you know what? I'm just going to move on to this other god over here and worship him instead. And I'm pretty sure, like whatever pharaoh came after him had his favorite god that he liked the most and had the people worship him, I just think this is like really like off topic, but well, not really off topic. Like Egyptian mythology, since there are so many gods and goddesses and just like everything in Egyptian mythology, it just is so crazy to me how many there are. Like when I started, because this is the third video, like I still don't really even know where to begin with Egyptian mythology. Like so much. There's so many different gods. So many different gods, goddesses, creatures. There were these that reigned this time, that were worshipped during this period, and then they weren't worshipped anymore, and then they started worshiping another set of gods or another god. It's just a lot. So I'll be like doing my research and like reading, and I'm like, I just don't even know like where to begin with this. But my plan is to do like a snippet of like the super major deities and then go in to like do like a little snippet, a little rundown, and then go farther into detail in like the like main like first 9 gods, and then like go from there. I feel like that's like the best plan that I have so far. But let's move on with my little rambling. Next, we're going to get into Atum. Atum, sorry. Atum created the world and is shown as a man wearing a double crown of Upper and Lower Egypt. Often was associated with the evening sun because the Egyptians believed that he would travel across the sky during the day and pass into the underworld at night before being reborn at dawn. Sometimes he was shown as an old man representing the end of life who sought to be reborn every day. He was believed to have created Shu, the god of air, and Tefnut, the goddess of moisture. But we will go more into detail of those gods when I get into Enid, because those are the 9 gods that I will go more in depth of. Osiris is on there, and I kind of went in depth on him already, but I will go more in depth on those other 9 gods. The next one we're going to get into is Bastet. Anyways, she was the goddess of cats and fertility and childbirth, and was often associated with joy and dance. Frequently shown with the head of a cat and the body of a human, and she was only worshipped by the Egyptians who owned cats. And cats were considered scarce animals in Egypt, so like I'd say like the rich bougie people with the cats, the kitty cats, worshipped her. She was believed to have the power to protect against evil spirits and diseases, so her image was used as a symbol of good luck and protection. She was considered to be a gentler version of the lion god Sekhmet. Alright, so next we're going to get into Biz. What's the business? Anyways, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I'm going to have to rearrange some stuff real fast. So I'm going to use this palette. Then I'm also going to need my small little mirror so I can see my eyeball up close. Okay. So he was shown as a short bearded man with a lion's mane and a tail, wearing a feather headdress. The ancient Egyptians considered those with dwarfism to be magical, and they were sometimes appointed at a high status. He was a helpful god and friendly. He protected children and cared for women during childbirth, and helped people feel safe and happy at home. He was a fierce protector. He was shown carrying knives and warding off demons and killing snakes. Don't know if this pink that I'm about to use is not pastel-y enough. I don't think it's going to work with this purple right here. Oh, will it? Does that work? Oh, I think that works. I think that works. I just brought that blue over way too far. Let's try to get that green back. Can we get that green back? Oh, I think this is looking pretty good. Not too much of that pink. Bring some more of that purple in there. Oh, if you're wondering which palette I'm using, I've had this palette for a freaking long ass time. The Color Fusion Over the Rainbow Beauty Glaze. Like you can tell, like look how long I've had this palette. There's a couple colors missing. You can tell which ones I've used the most. And then for the pink, I'm using Ace Beauty. And you can tell which colors I use a lot out of this one. Ooh, if it's not super Will that help? Does my hand behind it help? I don't know. But I feel like I never put what I'm using down in the description box down below, which I never do that. Sorry. Okay. He was also linked with music and dance and entertainment, who's often shown playing a musical instrument or dancing. You know, we all love to dance. Next, we're going to get into the 4 sons of Horus. Now, a few of these words are going to be very hard for me to pronounce. I'm just saying that right now. So, these four gods were believed to protect the organs of the dead during the mummification process and during the afterlife. Okay, so I'm just going to list their names up in a text box up top because I cannot remember how to pronounce them. Every time I look up how to pronounce it and then I go to say it, I forget. So, the first son, his name starts with an I. It'll be right here. He protected the liver. The second son, his name started with a D, and he protected the stomach. This one I can pronounce. Happy protected the lungs, and this one, no way I would have been able to remember how to pronounce this one. It starts with a Q. He protected the intestines. They were shown as mummified human figures. So I had a human head. D had a jackal head. Happy had a baboon head. And Q had a falcon head. It was believed that they had the power to help the dead navigate the afterlife and protect them. Okay, in my under eye now. Where's my... They were worshipped during the mummification process, and their images were placed on jars that contained the organs that were inside of the organs that they protected individually. Okay, I'm going to do my other eye and my eyeliner off camera, and I will be right back. All right, so I'm back. What do we think? I think it's pretty cute. So next is Geb, the god of earth and fertility. There's a lot of fertility gods out there in Egyptian mythology. I mean, it's practiced for what? 3,500 years or something like that? I can't remember off the top of my head. And they have like 1,500 plus gods. So yeah, lots of fertility gods. Lots and lots of fertility gods. But he was shown as a man laying on his back with his arms and legs stretched out to represent the land. He was married to Nut, the goddess of the sky. He had many children, including Osiris, Iris, Set, and Nephthys. He would bring a good harvest. He was associated with stability and balance. He would keep the earth balanced and steady and made chaos not happen. We learned a lot about a lot of different gods today and goddesses. Can't forget the ladies. But that brings us to the end of our video today. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And I will see you guys next week with another video. And in the meantime, you guys enjoy your week. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.